What is going on YouTube? What's going on Twitch? What is going on Temper FM? What is going on Facebook? This is your boy right back again again, Tig with a side chat. So it's not only would have been a side chat, but this is a special project open mic that I want to do. Since I took a couple weeks off, and it's kind of hard to roll back into it, and trying to get everybody back together is a little difficult, so I get that. So we're going to be talking about something which I put this is basically a special. So we're going to talk about fathers. I'm going to talk, and also I want to share some truths and some stuff that people never have, because the media, and I'm not talking about media like the news, not only the news, social media itself, and also stuff have this narrative of innocence for one side, and everything is bad for the other side, and all that situation. And I don't talk about politics. I'm talking about like a man and a woman, mother, and stuff like that. All right, so that's what we're gonna be talking about tonight. So again, I want to thank everybody that came through last night on Project Open Mic. Again, you can go to temperfm.radio T3. And you will get last show if you're on the European side and you watched that. A lot of you guys came through and go through that, which I'm happy that you did. And of course, if you wanna, it's on Facebook. I'm gonna try to put it on TT Records on Facebook, but also you can check it out on Project Open Mic that you see down there. Again, I would say subscribe, whatever. Subscribe. Comment, thumbs up, thumbs down, tell me what it is, share the video. That basically YouTube is an archive as well too, since a lot of people don't really go to the YouTube. Most of my people who watch the show basically watch through Temper FM, so I understand that. It's all cool. But thank y'all for showing through. Yes, we went through a gauntlet of stuff last night, and yes, the chat was crazy to see stuff going on in Temper FM. It was literally at the end, we were close to 80,000 people watching live, which is good. I'm happy that it is. So tonight, since we're bringing back the chat, I want to say again, thank you guys. Right now, right off the bat, okay, we're climbing. We have 220 people right now live for the Temple side, and it's rising. So again, thank you guys. It's a early morning for you guys. Come on in, as we're going to talk about fathers. Now, before we go into this, I want to blatantly stand this one. I talk in general terms because it's easier. Nothing's absolute, really. You hear me say it, but there's really no absolute when it comes to people. Certain groups do certain things to a degree, but there's no absolutes in that. All right, stereotypes are for a reason. People are like, oh, don't be a stereotype. That's the best way I can tell you. Don't be a stereotype. Quite easy to be in that situation. So, with that, we're gonna also, like I said, my stance has been this, always been this, gonna be this. Quite easy to be. Okay, just make sure I was checking out levels. I apologize for that. But because I want to make sure that people are hearing what I am, saying. In this thing, so I'm making sure my levels are good, because sometimes I have made mistakes in the past about this stuff. So, like I stated, we're gonna have talk about a touchy subject a lot of people don't like. Now, like I stated before, I myself believe you need a man and a woman to raise a child to the best of their ability. The best situation is a man and a woman. Yes, we have the stuff for the homosexual. Yes, you can adapt. Yes, you can be a stepdad and all that stuff. Do not get me wrong. I think you still need a male influence and a female influence at the most, so you can have at least a child to understand the dynamics. But living in a loving situation is better than being with a lot of toxicity. And the thing that I've learned now is that a lot of the thing I've learned out is that right now in 2000, in the late 2000 up to now, a lot of people have turned simple stuff that was simple, normal stuff, and have made it very perverse. So what's crazy is normal, and what's normal is crazy. That's basically what's going on now. And make it what's going on now, and it's not good. So with that said, we're gonna be talking about some stuff that's going on, and I'm thinking, one, parents. I talked about this last night about um being active in your child's life in school. Please do. It's needed. Be active. Even if you're a single father, single mom, please be active, because these children are getting teach and indoctrinated by some of these perverse and weird old teachers, and the school district and the school board really don't care as long as they gain a check. So trust me and believe. Please take care of that. Okay. When we're talking about a situation right now about a school and a father and how what's going on with that. Now, the story I want to present to you guys is this. When I was young, right? Again, I had an understanding, knowing that I was wrong. I admit that I admit that I was wrong. I had an understanding. When people just say, "Oh, dads ain't taking care of their daughters and kids and all this stuff," and I always say that it's not about the money, it's about child support and all this stuff. When I say now, I had a different outlook back then, but more and more, and seeing my friends go through certain stuff, I'm seeing that this is not a cut and dry thing as easy, and also that the system really messes with people. The court system is corrupt. We need to fix it. It literally is. It's just down and out messed up. And again, I always say this too: men are a-holes, and women can be vindictive. Okay, men are a-holes, women are vindictive. There's a reason why I say that. Most people who know me know why I say that, and you've seen it in your life as well too. That's how that works. But I always thought, oh, you're just a deadbeat dad and you don't take care of your kids, whatever. No, no, and then even my situation with my mom and my dad, how that worked. No, that's I had my situation, but I go more and more. It's a system setup. One, the court systems don't give a dang about men. The child support systems don't give a dang about men. And even if the child gets rewarded to the father, they still screw him over. They still screw him over. So I'm gonna, like I said, go through some of this stuff because it is needed. And it's 100% definitely needed to be talked about. So I'm gonna start off with something simple. All right. Give me a second here because I want to make sure.
Take your weight loss.
Good grief. I swear. Try to do things to help people. And again, I'm a one-man show. As usual, gonna be commercials popping up there because they don't do that no more. So make sure that I have everything kind of set up. All right. I think I have everything set up the way it's supposed to be set up. Now, I'm gonna start off with something simple and to the young men out there. There's a reason why I say wrap it up, wrap it up, wrap it up. Do not be a fool. I will always Most people say, "Oh yeah, we don't hold men up." No, I will always hold anybody. It takes two to have the child, so two of them cause a problem. But I don't like how every time it's like, "Oh, but the father takes this, or the man doesn't do this." If the man's out and route jerk or whatever, and abandon his family, that's deadbeat dad. That's a person I do not stand up for. I don't do that. I always try. There's something else posed to me where I see, even though women like save people, save other women, even though they're doing horrible things. I don't get it. I don't understand that. I could show you another thing, but there's too much cursing in it, and I'll do it in another thing. And this is a promotion for keep an eye out for more of Straight No Chasers, where you see more of this stuff where we talk about relationships and talk about cultural issues and everything. That's just straight talk, whatever. Like I said, I'm gonna do a thing called Project Over My Shorts, where if it's a show I want to talk about a short that's political or topical, that's so I don't get them confused, because I understand a lot of people don't like politics in their thing, and I understand it. I don't really talk about politics for the politics' sakes. I talk about it because culture is being changed by politics. Politics has come the new religion, and when a lot of people right now going away from God or Muhammad and all that stuff. They're going towards sectionalism, and sectionism just basically get away from God. Basically, they have to find something else to take that spot that they had for where religion took it. Now, I'm not a religious person, but that's why I'm stating that this situation is when you go through that. And right now, sometimes religions get perverse. And I could show a video about that, but I don't want the show to go on longer than it needs to go tonight. So I'll tell you this: on the YouTube channel is the only place I have it. I might do it on Bumble when I get a chance to do Bumble and Locals. Other places, other platforms, I'm gonna be start pointing stuff on to spread the audience. But on the YouTube, you have a playlist. You have Project Over Mike, of course. You have Side Chat, of course. You have Andre's Mike and Straight No Tracer, CNC. Those have been going on every Tuesday. Every Tuesday, a video goes up. You can check it out every Tuesday night around 8 o'clock to see what's the newest thing. Comment, share, and interact. Tell us what you think about it. Those ones are really truly to the YouTube exclusive. I put some of them on Tempo FM, but Tempo FM that is not really a video site, so it's there for a while and it goes. So just ain't nothing I could do about that. But I'm thankful that those guys gave me the platform to that's my old radio show, Radio T3, that they gave me the platform that I could broadcast, and I'm getting people in right now. Now we're getting up to 1,600 people in Tempo chat. Thank you guys out there. So I want to have that. So I want to talk about this now. I want to hear this. I'm going to do this on its own. I don't want its own thing. You guys are going to hear a lady talking. This is a young girl who is messed up. It's just toxic. Her mom was toxic. She didn't know what she's doing. She messed with a guy who's toxic. It's weird. I'll let her explain. I'm not gonna go through the whole thing, but I want to set the mood for what the rest of the show could be tonight. All right. So you're gonna be hearing audio that I'm about to play. It's a video, but it's just disgusting, and I just don't want to put a video on the screen. So I'll play the audio.
One hand on neck, one leg up.
They asked this young girl, 17 years old, how she got pregnant. And a lot of these young girls who are messed up, like I told you before, they're looking for attention. They're looking for adoration, and it's messed up. And again, that's one of the biggest things that happens to most girls with the father. The father ain't there. The boys get rambunctious and don't have discipline, so they get unruly. The girls looking for that male attention don't have it, so they seek it to go crazy places. And the father and the boys, of course, look for seeking the same attention in a way, in a different, but being violent and going into gangs and all the other nonsense. A father is very well needed. I don't know what I see these women who talk about, oh, we don't need men. Men are evil. Men are trash. We don't need father. Stuff like that. No, a male figure is needed. Better to be better to their father, so they have attachment. For both the male and the female, a mother is also needed for the same situation. I'm not saying one is better than the other, both need to be there so they can raise the child to the best of their abilities. Yes, there's a lot of children who are basically who got messed up and they were raised by two parents. Sometimes peer pressure is a mug, and that's another thing that's added to the system. But and there are killers who come from two parent homes and all stuff. So I'm not saying it's not a perfect. It's not a perfect at all. But the best results come from a loving two parent home and an intact family. That's where this thing came from. Point taken. Now, I'm making sure everybody understand that for that reason. We need the two parent homes. Okay? So this young girl, of course, single mom, her mom was toxic and stuff and she had a toxic relationship with this thing. So that 17-year-old girl pregnant, basically seeking attention, because that's what it is. Here we go. Like I say, she's talking about how, like I said, the question is, how did he get pregnant? She's gonna explain it. And in the video that she's being a little, but whatever.
One hand on neck, other hand on frontal. Miska, Muska, Mickey Mouse.
And she's laughing about having sex, but whatever.
Hold on. Then he gonna tell me that he busted. After he bust, he gonna tell me, yo, babe, you need to take a plan B. Nah, what you mean take a plan B? I'm keeping this. He gonna say, babe, you acting weird. What you mean I'm acting weird? Babe, you acting weird. Why you being weird to me? Why you being weird to me? I want to have your child. I got pregnant for a reason. I ain't taking no plan B. It was Miska, Musa, Mickey.
Okay. Now, and there's more to this, that the dude tried to stand up and do the right thing afterward, and she's mentally just messed up. And again, but to be honest with you, the person I would say I would have to come down the hardest on, because how she is, and is a dude. Why the hell you had sex with this woman unprotected? Why? Now you put yourself in a situation that's messed up. That's your fault. Ain't no way. Oh, I busted to go take a plan B and all that stuff. How about you should? I could get it if you had protection and condom break and you had a conversation, all that stuff. You all the young kids and everything. Can't blame me because I went through my little phase as well too. So it would be me calling the kettle black. So I can't do that. But like I stated before, I wrapped it up because I never took a chance with none of this crap. Young men, seriously, wrap it up. Learn how to use a condom properly. There's a way to use it properly, and just putting it on doesn't mean nothing. There's a way you could help your chances by using it properly in case anything. Seriously, wrap it up. Because once that seed crosses that threshold and she gets pregnant, it's out of your control, and your rest of your life could be good or bad. And we're going to show you what I'm saying, what can happen. All right? Show you what can happen. So here she now, she said all this stuff. So I'm going to play this little clip right here. I'll watch it because he wanted to do the right thing in a way. But again, he messed up, which is his fault. And I'm not taking the blame from her. That one, you messed up. And of course, in the end, she's kind of being sad and going through all this stuff. And again, just it should not happen. But look what she said. Look what she said to you, to the baby. I want you to at least hear this.
So I'm talking to my baby, and I'm like, baby, if you come out looking like your daddy, you're going right back in. And it just kicked me after I said that. So I think it said, all right, mommy. So yeah, you listening to mommy, baby, right? You coming out looking like mommy, right? Because if you look like daddy, you going right back in. Because, yeah, that man, no.
But you had sex with the man. See how crazy this thing's going to be. I'm saying that's the situation. But again, I will blame the man in this one because you should have never hit that thing wrong, dude. Seriously, if you're not in a relationship with a person, don't do that. You should have all this conversation before you have sex. Point blank, period. I've said that before. And you should have unprotected sex. Now, these are teenagers. You coming to be adults and stuff like that. Women, you know about birth control, you know about stuff. Okay, you don't want to have abortion. I get that. What she said later on, like I said, it's a dysfunctional video. I could go in, but I'm not gonna go into that point because I want to show the video that I really want to show you. It's gonna take a long time, and we will go through a trial of how vindictive and people like say, oh, deadbeat dad or whatever. Look, for a lot of people in America, women, you got a lot of rights that other countries don't have. That's what people don't understand. That one, two, accountability is a kryptonite to a lot of women. Not all, not all. Like I said, I'm generalizing. Not all, but they find ways to always play the victim. I hate that playing the victim all nonsense. Don't work on me. It don't. I come off as a mean jerk. Remember I said men are assholes, women are vindictive. So I'll be the a-hole. Just being. I'll be that. So let me help you go, guys. Let me help you young men understand this much better. Okay. Here's another video. You will hear the audio of this guy who he has his kid. It's a black man who has the kid most of the time, but still, see how the court system work.
It's taking the
I
majority
get
of his
served child
check.
support papers, and they're saying, "Oh man, whatever, you gotta pay child support." And so I call her after like 2 days because I was furious. I call her, and she was like, "Oh no, that was just what did she say? Oh, because she applied for food stamps." And so I was like, "All right, well, you feel me? You ain't finna put me on child support, are you?" She says, "No, I'm not gonna put you on child support. I'm not going through with that." I'm like, cool. I don't show up to court. I don't file any paperwork or whatever. She goes through with it and tells the people that I'm a deadbeat and I'm never around my child.
And you hear the child in the back. You hear the child call. The child's right there. He takes care of his child.
Mind you, now I know nothing about this, so I'll run into a friend who works at the child support office, and she says, "Hey, your case came across my desk. You need to go down there ASAP." When I go down there, they tell me, "Oh man, you just have to pay off a balance of like $1,800 or whatever, and then you'll get out of the arrearage, the extras for the arrearage, and then you'll just pay the balance." I said, "Well, what is the balance?" She said $23,861.63.
Wow. Because he did not know that he was getting child support because the mother said, "I'm not going to put you on child support." And he's the one taking care of the child. The child is in his care. And they take out money out of his check for child support. What the heck did the mother use it? If she don't have the child, majority of the times, where's the money going? Where's the money going?
In the state of Florida, if you only have one child, they can take 60% of your check.
Oh my God.
So I had my son Monday through Friday surviving on $20 checks and $40 checks. I work for a union that's contracted through like 3 different companies. So I'll get a check for $20 and $40 and $70. And I got to live off that and provide for my son and put gas in the car, take him to school, do the uniforms, tutoring, all that shit. When we show back up to court,
You tell me how fair that is. And that's not just one, that's multiple. That's happened multiple times.
All right, let me get the part 2.
explain
This
something
is
about
fucking
child support.
crazy,
Called the Bradley Amendment.
bro. God damn.
Part 2. So we end up going to court, and basically there's something called the Bradley Amendment. And what the Bradley Amendment is that basically the courts cannot take away back child support or rearage, even if the person lied.
Which, of course, the mother lied.
Because I have a balance of $8,900 and some change, I cannot get approved for a credit card. I can't get a mortgage. I can't use the money that I pay in child support to write off my taxes. But she can use the money that she receives in child support as additional income to help her get approved for a mortgage.
Whoa.
Even in my
That's crazy. That is crazy. Again, young men, before you go with this woman, you better have communication with this woman. If your communication, if you and her don't have an understanding of a lot of stuff, and as a foundation, it's gonna be doomed from the get-go. 2, have an understanding of each other. All right. this is why there's a video that's gonna come up on Chasers, where women were saying, "Would you let a man hit it the first night?" And you guys lit it on the first night. I was like, "You gotta be crazy, guys! Wrap it up seriously." And again, I said no. I would not I would not have sex with a woman the first night. Why? Because that 1 minute because I showed another video of a father went to jail for 5 years for a child that was not his because he didn't know because it was a one night stand. That little 1 hour of working and doing whatever, or 15 minutes or 10 seconds could change could change your life forever, and also will put you in messed up stuff for 18 years. Because the way child support mostly works, if you miss a payment, you lose a job, and you can't pay it, and you're gonna hear it later on from a judge itself, you can't pay it, they put you in jail, which of course you lose your job, you can't pay, and then that's on your record, and makes it harder for you to get a job. It's a stupid system, point blank, period. But there's a reason why they do it, and this guy is gonna explain it. Again, you're hearing the audio because how you're gonna hear the audio, but yeah, you're gonna hear it.
Oh.
Business. I could not get approved for a business loan for $250,000, even though I have a 750 credit score, because I have a collections tied to my personal credit, which is child support. And did you know that child support is really just a collection agency? It's a glorified collection agency. That's all it is. Their sole purpose is collect money. The reason why they go so hard to collect money is because every dollar that they collect from you, the government matches that dollar. So if they collect $100 from you, they technically collected $200 from you, which none of the money that they collect from the government is afforded to your balance. Did you know 90% of the money owed in arrearage is owed by men who make less than $10,000 on the year? Yeah.
So that means y'all having children with guys who don't have the potential, but then some of these women say, "Oh yeah, we want a guy with 6 figures and 6 this and all this nonsense." Like, are you out your mind? Really?
What the fuck?
Sorry, I let that one go. I apologize.
Bruh.
People who make less than $10,000 on the year. Meaning back child support isn't a case of I don't want to pay. It's a case of I can't pay.
With the
That's true. And again, guys, wrap it up, wrap it the hell up, okay? On a serious note, don't be messing around with that. Now I'm gonna jump to this little thing right here, which I am gonna show on the screen. Why fathers are needed. So shout out to this father for doing what he did. But I want to let you hear this situation because it's a doozy. It's a doozy. This one I could show it. You could see it on the right over there.
Acknowledged what happened and apologized, but claims the child asked that her hair be cut. In both cases, her father says that's just not true, and he thinks the teacher who knew about it and the staff member who cut her hair should now be fired.
Why did it make you sad that the little girl cut your hair?
I looked like a boy.
That's 7-year-old Journey, a student in Mount Pleasant Public Schools. Her father, Jimmy Hoffmeyer, says in March, a student cut one side of her hair on the school bus. He took her to a salon to have it fixed that same day. But a few days later, her hair was cut again, and this time by a member of library staff at Journey's school.
I just don't understand why she thought that a child could make any decisions like that, whether it was straightening it, whether it was cutting it. Why is she touching my child?
Amen to you, brother. He's correct. Period. Why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? And I'm going to explain a little something else after this as well, too.
Period. During a COVID pandemic and without permission. I don't understand that part.
Jimmy says his daughter never asked for the child or the staff member to cut his daughter's hair. And he says Journey was upset that it happened, alleging the staff member had made comments about the little girl's hair before.
She said it looks pretty.
Straightened. Looks prettier straightened.
Since the story went public, it has garnered national attention.
The Washington Post, the Associated Press, the New York Post, People,
Newsweek. This has become a really big thing.
Yes.
How have you been dealing with that element of it, that now you're getting national attention because of this incident?
It's been quite stressful, as and for me to deal with all these people and the hate mail and even the support mail is still overwhelming.
And most of those stories have mentioned the fact Journey is
It's
biracial.
biracial.
How central do you think it is here? Do you think that the fact that your daughter is both black and white in a predominantly white environment played a role?
See, that is the hardest question to answer, being that I hope that everybody can understand that I really don't know. I honestly don't know. I've been in the school system my whole life. I have experienced some racism, but you always hope that it isn't the case.
Christina Laster of the National Parents Union, a network of parent organizations and activists, says race is a factor. They've been advocating for Journey and to see the Crown Act pass across the nation.
I agree with the Crown Act. It needs to be passed. I think, again, I'll say this, that yes, it's kind of weird. A black man, like women who have natural hair. I don't like to see I'll straight up tell you, I don't like to see the weave. That's not what it is. Including when I know where most of the weave come from and everything. It's funny, blacks, slavery and everything, and most of these weave come from is synthetic, made from stuff that also can cause your hair to break out, and also it comes from people like in China and stuff who are basically slaves. It's not a good thing. I like natural hair. I like a natural hair all day, every day. That's what the way God made you is the way I like it. But it is, you should not. If a woman wants to wear dreads, if she want to have her hair, in a style, knot or whatever, that's natural to what her hair is, like that girl, natural hair, whatever. Yes. Now, if you go, no, the Crown Act is, and I hope people you never get it. The Crown Act is not for you to do crazy. That makes you think that you would go and do crazy stuff in your hair. No, do not do stupid hairstyles and whatever and think you get a job. No, it should be that if you have a hijab on, and if you're Muslim or Indian or Sikh and stuff like that, that's your religion. There should be no problem. If you like your hair to be dreadlocks, it should not be cut, boy or girl. It shouldn't be cut. That's dreadlocks. That's a part of your hair. It's all your stuff. If you basically have like twists and stuff, that's a part of the thing. It's your natural hair. I'm not, now there are people, doesn't mean that you come in multicolor, technicolor, transformative hair now, and that stuff. I'm not down with that nonsense. That's not what your hair is supposed to be at. That's me putting my opinion into it. But I am for the Crown Act. So we could just, like, so if a kid come and she has her braids and twists and stuff in there, that's her natural hair. No, don't mess with it.
A law that prohibits race-based hair discrimination.
Do you see it this way? Do you see this as directly a question of racism or a racist act? Or do you see it more so as a teacher going outside of the bounds of the way that he or she should behave?
Both.
I see it as a motivated act, race-based motivated act.
The superintendent of Mount Pleasant Public Schools wrote this of the child's teacher who knew about the haircut and the staff member who cut her hair, quote, "Regardless of their good intentions, these actions are unacceptable and show a lack of judgment on the part of our two employees. But employees have admitted their actions and apologized. Both are being reviewed for further disciplinary actions in accordance with our school policies and procedures. I have personally apologized to the family on behalf of the school district." And Jimmy also says he wants to see the Crown Act pass in every state, including Michigan, and is considering putting his daughter in private school.
And now you see why he said why I put him. This is one of many reasons how public schools has done certain things. Another thing for me, the most important thing is what Jimmy said at the beginning. And there's a lot of people who've gone through some crazy stuff because of this. There have been schools who, like I said, I understand. If you had, I know the devastation of molestation and all this stuff, to being stepfather, father, mom's boyfriend, all the stuff they're bringing, it could happen on a mother or crazy. It happened, and a kid wants to speak in confidant. If you have that situation, tell the cops, but also inform the parent and all the stuff, and then whatever. Because again, some kids cry out and twist stuff in their mind too. Not all of them, but some do, and I've have stories of that. And this kid was 12 years old. The mom said something to the dad. The dad had to go to jail. Come to find out, she found out that she said that never really happened. But the dad, it's a mess. It's a mess. I don't want to say the full story without showing you what's going on because it'd be better that way. But I'm talking about the ones where they are giving children, like mostly females, they're giving females like birth controls and stuff like that. I'm like, and they don't tell the parents. How about you tell me that's my daughter? Okay, no, you tell me. Okay. That's why I said, parents, you have to take an active role. That's why I showed a clip last night. A lot of these parents are now understanding what CRT, critical race theory, what he's doing. It's a stupid thing, and it's causing many more problems. I'm happy that parents are standing up. I'm happy that I showed you that mayor who went to the school board said resign or y'all going to jail. Is your choice. I'm happy that happened. Again, is it because the mayor was doing the right thing, or was it political pressure? I don't know. I'm not in Ohio, so I can't say nothing. But at least the action, what it is, I stand behind the action. These teachers are teaching crap to the kids, telling them a boy's a girl, girl's a boy, all this nonsense. Teach them the ABCs 1 through 3s. And like I said before, back in you go to Washington State, they passed Oregon. No, it's Oregon. They passed a law that to graduate high school, you don't need to learn how to. You do not need to learn how to read, write, or do simple algebra. Those kids are going to be a detriment to the society, and it also it hurts the kids. That's the part that it sucks. Literally sucks. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. But I'm happy that their father is. See that father's in there. You see how he talks and playing and whatever. I like that. I like that he stand up and he said we have to set, and that's just disturbing in its own right. Right? Don't do that, teachers out there. Please don't. So we're gonna be talking about a next story now. Now I'm gonna have to shrink this a little bit more because of cops. You'll hear the audio, but just because of how copyrights work and everything, even though you're doing it for education, even though I don't monetize none of the videos on YouTube, this is for the YouTube purposes stuff. I can't. I want to keep the channel up because we did get basically once said that we use them. Like, yes, we use it, but we don't make the money off of it and whatever. And also it was on a video where a lot of people don't want to hear the truth on that stuff, and so I know how YouTube works. All right, so it's crazy. But I want to pull to you this case. And this case is going to tell you all the stuff I've said in my videos in the past and everything about, again, I've never heard a kid. I'm talking about there's a few. I'm talking about a tiny, despicable few kids that are exceptions. But I've never heard a kid said, "Oh, where's the money?" When I was a child support, paying the child because you pay and the mothers use them against. Where's the money? Where's all blah blah? No. You don't hear that. You always hear the child, "You wasn't there for me." All right? You wasn't there for me. So I'll do that. I'll do that. I've seen that. I'm looking at the chat right here. Let me knock out a couple stuff. I see people talking. Let me it is sick, people. It is sick. It's all craziness here. But I do want to talk about I want to talk about stuff, but let me knock out some of this crazy talk.
That's my old.
Since when did?
Oh, this. I automatically pressed the wrong thing right here. So, all right. And now we're getting up to, we went up 170, 1,000 climbing up. So again, thank you guys for giving me your time and your ear on this. Really, I do like I hear this. Let's see, Zephyr Janal from Egypt. My 83-year-old black mom would disagree and would be happy to get this new generation all races into shape. Yeah, she would. That's the old school right there. She thinks that they're generally predisposed to okay. Let's see. Okay, she thinks that generally predisposed for the misbehavior. Why do these school hire such awful racists? Okay, there you go. Some people saying I can't think about it. Dory along from London, from England, I should say. Sorry. Teaching teachers to be normal is a daunting task. Psychiatric hospitals need to be reopened. By the way, these teachers have torn a lot of families apart. That is true. Cole Savant from Portugal. Every successful society that ever existed, be it Black African, Asian Eastern, South Asian, Black African, East Asian, South Asian, Inuit, Polynesian, European, etc., has had certain standards of positive behavior which it was expected of the members. It is crazy to think that people now are messing with people's hair just to think that they know what's right for them, and it's called a white, and being that it's a white thing that they don't look like how these children's hair are. Again, I get that. Yeah, this is racism because they don't think of what they're teaching their by doing this, what they put into the kids' minds. I get that one. I agree with that. That is Pudri Lankin from Poland. Cole Tai from UK. I can't put it into words, but this is just stupid, man. I told you, and I've said it before, the most racist people are these white leftist white women who think they know better than for everybody. They just do that. They really are. But let me get into this video because this is gonna take a while. It's already 10 o'clock, and I don't want to kill this any further than it needs to be. So let's go to right down here. Okay. It's a white couple, so this is not a black thing or whatever. It's a white couple, but I'm just pointing out. But let's hear this story, which is wrenching, and it proves a lot of stuff. This is not one. This is not one because again, in the black community, 74% of children are born out of wedlock. In the divorce court, 80% of women initiate divorces. This is women who file cases. This is not a percentage. This is not a survey, whatever. This is actual divorce courts. You could go check this out with the government and see the numbers. They're actually doing this. 80% of women file for divorces. Majority of them is for unreconcilable references or basically from since they what do they call it? That they put in the 70s. No. Basically, I had no condition kind of divorce. Like you don't have to give a good reason for why you want to divorce the thing, whatever. But then you should get divorced to get half of the money and all this stuff, or get half of the kids, or go through all this. Again, let me start off by saying this: men are assholes. Women are vindictive. Now let's continue. Let's go and listen to the story, and you'll see why I said what I said.
Hello.
This is the case of Lapine versus Lapine.
Thank you, Jerome. Good day, everyone.
Good day.
Ms. Lapine, you say For the past 30 years, you'd always believed the defendant, Mr. Lapine, was your dad.
Yes, Your Honor.
Then just months ago at a family dinner, you were told by a family member that he's not your biological father.
Yes, Your Honor.
Still in shock, you state you're here today to finally discover the truth.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Lapine, you say you've spent years in jail for unpaid child support, and your life has been turned upside down.
Yes, Your Honor.
Tomorrow, you have yet another court date.
Yes, Your Honor.
You claim you could be locked up again if today's...
And I'll say this again, I will say it the day I got, guys. Now, this is a different situation. Now, if you have, I will say this to you too. There's a way that the court could do something about this, and she ain't gonna talk. I have a that's gonna we see what it's gonna pay out, but I'll also say this. If you feel something's off, because there's a messed up thing about it too. If you sign the papers that you're the father, because you think you're the father, that right there is messed up because the system says you're the father, you should pay whatever. Even if you find out that a child's not yours, or a child's yours, or she lied, or she caused fraud. Like there's another video I have where this woman did fraud and all kind of stuff. This is crazy. If you feel that, do not sign them papers. I want to make sure I got to return any test. Pay for it yourself. Make sure and whatever. It might cause headache, but again, it might cause more headache if you find out that that child's not yours, or the child's, or the mother lied and do all kind of stuff. Okay, just saying that.
Results prove you are indeed Miss Lapine's biological father.
Yes, Your Honor.
So, Miss Lapine, tell me, what happened the night you first learned the defendant may not be your biological father?
We was at a family dinner and we was all just discussing how our parents was, and then family members started saying that, well, you don't know if he's your dad or not because you don't look like your dad and he might not be your dad.
Wait a minute, wait. Did you ever heard of anything like this?
No, Your Honor.
Oh my goodness. What did you say?
I went to another family member and asked if this was true, and they just told me that this was not the time or place to talk about it and just shrugged it off.
Oh.
Wow. So did you reach out to your father, Mr.
Yes.
And what did you say?
I called him the next day and asked him if it was true, and my father said that that guy was around at the time. So then he started questioning it.
So hold on. They gave you a name?
Gave me a name.
Of the man that was your father?
Yes.
Wow. Mr. Lapine.
Yes, ma'am.
For 30 years, all this time, you believe this young girl was your daughter?
Yes, ma'am. And I've been 4 to 5 years in jail, and it gets rough.
4 to 5 years in jail.
Yes, ma'am.
For unpaid child support.
Yes, Your Honor.
For a young...
And you can see her looking across like, yeah, blah, 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 whatever. Which again, don't like that look. I don't like that look. I don't like that side-eye look, but hey. Well,
young woman that calls you and then says, some family member told me you may not even be my biological father.
Yes, Your Honor.
You actually have a court date tomorrow.
1:30 tomorrow afternoon.
Concerning the child support for this young woman that you're still behind on.
Yes, ma'am.
You could be thrown back in jail again for being behind, and yet you still don't know whether you're her biological father.
True, I don't. I don't know if I'm her dad or not.
Have you ever been arrested for anything else besides this child support issue?
Never, ma'am. Nothing.
Just getting...
Because he's a Marine, which, and that's messed up, even worse messed up that.
Behind in child support.
Yes, ma'am, that's it. It's the only time I've ever been in jail.
So 30 years go by. 30 years you thinking you have a daughter.
Yes, ma'am.
You're going in and out of jail for child support as it relates to her.
Yes, ma'am.
When you get that phone call and she tells you a family member said that to her, do you go back in time to those moments after you learned her mother was pregnant?
I went all the way back. I thought about everything after that.
What were your revelations?
Yeah.
I counted back months. I was like, wait a minute. There's a month or two here that I wasn't even down there, and she's supposed to be pregnant at this time.
You started doing some math and you felt like it didn't add up.
Yes, ma'am.
You said, well, the window of conception would have been around this time, and
Yes, ma'am. Exactly.
this may or may not be mine.
Yes, ma'am.
So after you learned her mother was pregnant, you went on and married and signed the birth certificate, and you stepped up to be the father.
Which, again, coming from where he's come from, that's commendable to do that. Yes, and at least he went and got married. That's like I said. I'm not knocking the man for nothing like that stuff
Yes, ma'am.
either.
Did you remember her mother being intimate with anybody else during that time?
I didn't know then. I was,
So-
after me and her separated, I was told by friends of mine that they had slept with her
Wow.
and other people.
Wow. So as you look at,
You can see him. He's a Marine. Is a photo, so they can't hit me for that one. I'm thinking I'm going to show you right there. Marine, all that. Telling you. So it's in his character to be who he is. Now again, not all military men are good people. John McCain. You could be a good Marine. You could be a good soldier, but y'all could be a horrible human being. Anyway, back down.
Ms. Lapine, do you feel like she looks,
No, ma'am, she looks nothing like me. And the dark
but your
skin,
other daughter, you claim looks like you?
dark hair, dark skin, skinny, looks identical to me.
That's a point, but I gotta give it to the other daughter, which you'll see. She makes a good point too.
Jerome, I think it's time we meet her. Please escort her in.
Hey, ma'am. I'm gonna have you go up to the witness stand up here, next to the judge.
Please be seated. Thank you for joining us. And your name?
Jennifer Lapine.
Mr. Lapine is your father.
Yes.
And you grew up believing Brandy was your sister.
Yes.
So when did you hear about there being any doubt?
I mean, we were always teased about it, but
Who would tease you?
it's just different family members. So
What would they say?
it was just things like, oh, well, you're the milkman's baby, stuff like that. It's just been, after so many years, you think something, and then it comes out, and then you see it affect everybody. It's not just me and her, it's our kids, it's, everybody around us. It's our whole family. Because this is what we thought, this is what we believed. And now all of a sudden it's like, it may not be, but
What are
it's
you
hard,
holding
it's
in your
difficult.
hand?
Yeah, that is something that is, like I said, it's messed up on its own. It really is. But let's just hear it out more. Because most of the time, like I said, who caused most divorces? That also there's a statistic that came out from people who do paternity tests, which just found out about some things, which I'm gonna leave to the end of this because just let you hear what's going on.
Last week of me, my dad, and my sister.
And you feel like you strongly resemble your father,
Right,
but Brandy does not.
right.
When you look at this picture, Brandy, what do you feel?
I always thought that I just got my mother's side of the genes. I always thought, I look like my mom, but I always thought I had my dad's attitude.
Okay, that's
I
fair.
always thought that, but I mean, as you could tell, no, we don't look nothing alike, but your kids don't always look like you, so I was just like,
And your dad says all these years you thought she was
Yes,
your
Your Honor.
daughter.
But she brings up a good point. Like my dad's kid, like some of us look like have features from our father. And my sister, my biological sister both ways, like mother and father, she does not look like me. So she brought up a good point. Just because we don't look almost the same. So I know, I've heard stories like, oh, he don't look like your daddy. You don't look like your daddy. Your daddy's this and all that. It can happen. You can take more general features from the mother than you could take from the father as well. So it does happen. So she brought up a very good point right there.
Yes, Your Honor. And here's where I've been paying child support.
Yeah.
I'd go to the courthouse and pay.
Jerome, please pass
I
me
would
that
have
evidence.
it taken out of my paychecks and everything else.
Yeah, just like the other guy at the beginning of the show said, they take it out of your checks. So it's kind of weird how, whatever. Now, if you lost your job, that's where it gets sucky and that's messed up.
I would go to the courthouse and make them take it out of my paychecks all the time. They go back.
Record after record.
They go back to 1998. Some spots in there that aren't there, I was in jail.
Mm-hmm.
For unpaid child support.
Yes, ma'am.
Yep.
And with a court date tomorrow, the stakes, they really can't be any higher because they could send you back to jail.
Yes, ma'am.
It's a vicious cycle at some point. If you lose your job or you get...
And that's what I love I'm having this judge explaining the system needs to change. It does. It sucks all out. The system needs to change. I went back a little bit so she would explain it because it's a stupid, it makes no sense. It makes no sense at all.
Yes, ma'am.
It's a vicious cycle at some point. If you lose your job or you get behind in your support, then you go to jail. Well, even if you had a job, when you go to jail, you lose the job.
Yes, ma'am.
Then you come out of jail, you got to find another job. And it can keep happening over and over again.
But where was he when?
And then if you do lose the job, right? It's harder for you to get another job because you have this on your record. So you were never gonna. The system is delinquently a service cycle. It's basically a Ouroboros, just a snake in its tail, going all around and around. It's not doing anything good. Okay, now she's gonna bring up something. I'll let they take care of that.
And he wasn't in jail.
I left for 10 years.
You and her mother broke up.
I come home, she come into where I was sitting and told me, I want you to move out.
And how old was Miss?
I left for 10 years.
Where was he when he wasn't in jail?
You heard that.
I left.
You heard that. Okay, I'll let you heard that. Again, remember what I just said. I never heard of peers. Oh, you didn't give me the money and all that stuff. It's like, where were you? It's always mostly, where were you? That's where you need the fathers and all that stuff. So I'll let the story go on now.
I left for 10 years.
You and her mother broke up.
I come home, she come into where I was sitting and told me, I want you to move out.
And how old was Miss Lapine then? How old was your daughter?
3. I just packed my stuff and left. Now I wish I'd never left.
So, Mr. Lapine, you have regrets
Yes, ma'am.
because you feel like you let your daughters down?
I did let them down.
Accountability. For me to you, sir, I'm happy that you did that. Take up accountability. Now, in a situation how the mother is, you made the right choice because she could have made up all. Remember, addicted. She could have made up all kind of weird stories to put you in jail. So it is a messed up thing. I admit to that. But you could have said horrible stuff. That there's women like the woman who Ayanna Van Zel, when the woman said that the father, messed with the kid, molested the kids, and separated the family just because for some evil in her. I don't know what it was. He himself, you're evil, and you need to take care of that evil. You're just an evil person, just for the kids. I get where he's coming from. And I'm happy that he takes accountability, and he should have fought. I hate it when I'll say this because I hate when people, you should have fought more for me. How about we should not be fighting in the first place? But I'll digress from that. But yes, I think he could have put up a little bit more. But again, he really could have made the best choice. Sorry, and I feel for you. Because I know he loved his daughters. He tried when he was there. He raised them as best as he could at the time because of what's going on. But yes,
And I'm sorry. I wish I'd never left. I wasn't worried about what their mom had to say.
To a degree you would, but yes.
And then I wouldn't have messed Miss Hopper. And she's been there with me through the thick and thin.
Please stand up, ma'am.
Little Caesars who
This is another thing too, where you find out how things it affects a lot more people if the father or the guy try to move on and do the best they can. It still could come back. That's why I try to tell you young guys again, wrap it up. Do not, this can mess up your life in the future. Do not just think, oh, I'm gonna just get sex. It's not worth it. It's nowhere worth it. Does it feel great? Yes. If that endorphins going through your body feels great, yes. Do you need to get that fog off? Yes. Masturbate, do something different, but don't go messing like this, okay? And wrap it up and know how to use the condom. That's all I can tell you. You're gonna hear it multiple times on this channel. You'll get sick of me saying it, but you need to do it because I'm gonna keep on presenting to you examples.
Linda Opfer.
Thank you for joining us today, ma'am. I see you're very emotional as well.
It's been hard because every time Richard goes to jail, and not only do Brandy and Jennifer lose their father again, but also my 4 children.
And to be clear, you all are in a relationship.
26 years.
Yes, ma'am.
26 years.
Yeah.
Say they lose their father, and my children call him dad. Everybody suffers.
Everyone suffers.
Yep.
Yes.
And your fear is
Everybody suffers.
he's going to go back to jail tomorrow if these results prove that he is Brandy's biological father.
Well, and it's every time he goes, I lose a part of my soul.
But you still find yourself in this scary situation because you haven't been able to catch up on this support. So you still are in fear of getting locked up all the time.
Yes, ma'am.
Mm-hmm.
Always.
See, I'm on disability now. And when they take my child support out, I only get $600 a month after that. That's it.
So they're taking for your arrears.
Yes, ma'am.
So, Brandy, I have to ask you, what have the last couple of months been like struggling with this information? Have you tried to find this name they gave you, this man?
Yes, I have looked for this man, Bill, but there is 239 people.
Oh.
There gotta be more people named Bill. That part is the part of killing me.
Tyrone, let me see that.
I would not begin to know who to start with.
Yeah,
So you
Bill-
started your search. You said, let me try to find this gentleman they've named.
Yes, Your Honor.
Bill. There's 330 million people in America. There must be bills that was in that neighborhood.
139 from pretty much every state in the United States.
Yes,
There's more than that, but ain't no way you're gonna find out. Even with that, you still ain't gonna find out.
Your Honor.
16 in Pennsylvania, 8 in Tennessee, 3 in Washington, 13 in North Carolina. And you're trying to look for your potential biological father with these types of odds.
Yes. Because
And then
I'm getting married soon, and I just want to know who my real dad is.
And then I have to ask you this. When you hear about the man you believe to be your father, Mr. Lapine, your whole life, facing jail time again tomorrow.
I don't know.
Take your time. I know this is difficult. Because you really don't know, right?
No, I don't.
Tell your father how you feel.
I feel upset that you wasn't there for all them years. And I feel like even though I love y'all to death and I love my brothers and sisters, I feel like that you did more for them than you ever did for us.
Because of the situation caused by the mother. Just be point blank. That's the truth. That's logical facts right there, point and track. And like I said again, you hear how she said it. It's not about the money. It's that their father wasn't there. So that's this child support thing is a messed up situation.
That 10 years I was gone was my mistake. Because after 10 years, I missed out of you guys' life. That, like I said, that was my mistake.
Yeah, accountability.
Jennifer, is there anything you'd like to add? Anything you'd like to say before we go to the results?
The lurking feeling still in the back of my mind of where were you? You know, why weren't you there? Would it have changed our childhood? You know, would things have
Yes, it would have.
made things different for us as we were growing up?
Yes, it would.
I mean, I love your kids to death, Linda. I do, and I look at them as my brothers and sisters.
They are your brother and sister.
But in a way, I'm jealous of them because my dad raised them, but he didn't raise me. He wasn't there for me, but he was there for them.
We can't make the past up.
No, we can't.
No, I
we
can't, but I can make the future better.
Very well said. And Jennifer, you've also requested that a paternity test be done on your behalf.
Yes,
to make sure Mr. Lapine is also your biological father.
Yes, ma'am. Just to be comfort here and support my sister and let her know I'll go through it with her too. I'll be there with her through everything.
I think it's time to get both results.
Yes,
If anyone would like to take a seat, please feel free.
I think.
These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics and they read as follows. The first result pertains to Jennifer. In the case of Lapine versus Lapine, when it comes to Jennifer Lapine, Mr. Richard Lapine, you are her father.
Oh, yeah. See, he's happy. And like I said,
The next result pertains to Brandy. In the case of Lapine versus Lapine, as it pertains to the paternity of Ms. Brandy Lapine, Ms. Lapine, Mr. Richard Lapine.
boy, they gotta extend that drama, don't they? They gotta extend that drama to make sure you get all that, okay? That's for sure.
In the case of Lapine versus Lapine, as it pertains to the paternity of Ms. Brandy Lapine. Ms. Lapine, Mr. Richard Lapine is not your biological father.
Yeah. Yeah, see, that's messed up. And that's rough. I feel for the young lady. And how a life can change.
No matter what. Still my daughter.
Ms. Lapine, this courtroom is about the truth, finding out the truth. There is a scientific truth, and then there's also the spiritual truth, the loving truth. And that's that you all are a family.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. Mr. Lapine,
Yes, ma'am.
I do need you to understand, you voluntarily signed.
And this is why I say, again, remember, she's pointing this out. Just how messed up the system is.
The birth certificate when Brandy was born, so you will likely still be legally responsible for that child support. And I need you to understand that. However, this is evidence you can present to your attorney on your behalf.
Yes, ma'am.
I wish you the very best in your court appearance tomorrow.
Thank you, ma'am.
Court is adjourned.
All right. You know who you didn't see in that situation? The mother. You see what happened? I think the guy would have been a stand-up guy if the mother wasn't a vindictive person. I get what the other daughter was saying. You wasn't there for us. You feel just and all that stuff, whatever. But the reason he said he fought. He fought. I didn't want to tip it too much, but I think most of y'all could have figured it out. He didn't want to tip that he said I should have fought. Right. The mother could have said you was molesting my kid. Your mother could have said, "Oh, you hurt me," because it's he say, she say, and you could go to jail for he. Women don't have to produce evidence. Males do. So how does it is in this situation? They do. So that sucks. I've been in a situation where a woman got super angry, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna leave because I don't want no damn problems. I left. I'm telling you two situations. One was that you got the anger was getting there, and I was like, "When you getting angry, calm. You know what? I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna walk out because again, most cases, even if the mother's beating up on, if the woman's hitting the dude and the dude called the cops and he was protected, whatever, they're gonna take the dude out of their house more than they would take the women. It just is. That's a sad situation. So in his case, yes, his life could have been much worse. He could have said, they could have said, oh well, he put hands on me, you know. Like I said before, men are a-holes, women are vindictive for a reason. And she tore up a whole family and do all kind of stuff just because, you know, what happened? He tried to be there. Try to be there for the kids. No, you see what happened. And that's why a lot of paternity fraud hurts not only men, it hurts women too. So if the guy moves on and is going to be kids or do stuff or whatever, they want to make sure, no, you giving that, because some women will think that, and I said some, okay? Someone will think, well, you're giving your best to this other woman, you should have gave to me. Well, the other woman, but the thing is, a lot of people say, oh, it feels like I built him up and he's giving this other, you know what the other woman gave them? Majority of the times that people never understand, that other woman gave him peace. Not argumentative, not nah in my ear, not, he gave her peace. He gave him peace. And there's a lot of fathers out there who want to take care of the kids. Again, there's really a lot. The more and more I see cases like this, and there's a ton of cases. You could go to the divorce court and on YouTube, or you watch it on your television shows or whatever. Paternity, all that stuff right there. And again, I'll blame. And for the ones who didn't know, and this is the statistics I wanted. This is the one I wanted to say that I didn't want to kind of want to put. 75%. Here's the thing. This is for black people, so I'm again, I don't know for white, and I'll have to search more. But for black people in America, black African Americans, 74% of women who do the paternity test, the first person they say that they think is the father is not the father. 74%. And that's for the people who took the test. How about those who don't took the test? Like him, who thought he was married and he signed a paper because he thought, well, I'm married, I got a child, I'm not. Yeah. You know, he was falsely put into that. Now, one of the things I think the law should be, if you're going to go to child support, because as the judge just said how the mess of child support is, in that situation right there, they should do a paternity test before the man goes to jail. Automatically. I don't care. You can put it on the bill. Automatically, you check to find out if that's his child. Seriously. You think you're marrying this woman and everything is all good and she's cheating on you. Yeah, oh, great. Great. Now, if it's just a thing that you ain't married and all that stuff and going through that, guys, again, I'll say it again. Why you should not be having unprotected sex with that woman. All right? Women, you have all flavors of birth control. You should use it as well, too. Nothing's 100%. I understand that. I get that. A condom can break. A birth control can fail. I know my coworker at my job, one of her friends was on ID, IED birth control, whatever, and it failed. She got a child. No, she got a premium out of that. Like the child got born at 5 months early, which is, remember, the child is doing well, thank God. But on a serious note, though, maybe if the guy had a condom, that would have never happened as well too. Now they are married, and I get that, I understand that. In the cases, you gotta have. That's why I say you have to have the conversation of this can cause a child, blah blah blah. And again, it's the case. The chances of the ovulating, like, I can't say there's an answer to this, because if a woman wants to lie, she can lie as well too. People's like, oh, men lie. No, men and women lie. Men and women cheat. Men and women are deceptive. Men and women both. Okay, I want to bring up this situation because the court system is totally, almost nearly perfect, like I said, against the man. 90%, 97% of cases that goes towards divorce and stuff when it comes to who gets a child and all that stuff are awarded to women. Even if the woman's a bad mother, even the woman, you gotta show that the woman's a crackhead, can't take care of herself, whatever situation. Even though they could kind of take care of herself and all that stuff. So they don't care. They don't care. And then people are like, oh, well, because there's stories now, there's a lot of videos coming up now, which women are like, oh, you should take care of, you should be a stepfather because of a Brittany Renner, PJ Washington thing, which I'll talk about. It's like, you should be a stepfather. You should not tell men to not date single moms. Here's my advice. I'm dead serious about this. I want to tell guys, and I will tell women too, do not date a single dude that have multiple baby mamas. Off the jump, that's a stupid idea. Same thing for a man. If you have multiple baby fathers, don't date the person. It's a stupid idea. Now, let's go with this. I can understand, I've talked about this before, you gone through a divorce, and the child is this situation, you want to step in, that's your choice. But I still would say, if you're young and you're active, even me, I'm 38, if you have one child and understandable, whatever, and you want to have a child, that's the situation we're going to have to do. But I'll be honest with you right now, I still say that. Now, if you're a single mom, you should be looking for a father that has kids. If your father, the same thing, has kids. I've seen stories where women say, which is ridiculous as hell, and I saw a story today where this woman said some nonsense. But she has 3 children, but she don't want a man that has children. What? She want a single man? No, you're not entitled to that at all. Your pool has shrunk from a big wide ocean to this. That's what you got. And you're gonna be picky? Okay, good luck. I don't have a problem with people having preference, but there's a difference between a preference and being freaking out of this world. Okay? Now, if you have children, you should look for somebody who has children as well too. That goes for both sides, men and women. If you're a single dad, or your dad with going through all this stuff, and then, like I said, the drama is real. But see how that woman did all that stuff and mess up her family like that. I hope they do it. Then of course it's a different show. They don't say that he goes to jail or goes to jail and stuff. There are cases where a guy's gone to jail and they didn't even sign the papers. Nevertheless, was there nowhere close to the woman. So that's why I always say, wrap it up. But you see what that entails. Like I said, I like this guy because he's respectable. He took accountability, something that he really didn't have super no control over, because again, of how the mother could have act like. I really do. But if she wasn't that dude would have raised, like he said, you wouldn't find Miss Ophelia, which, I mean, she got lucky in that she has kids and he took over that, but also his daughters would have had a different situation. Legitimately. And again, the other daughter proved a point. Just because I don't look like you doesn't mean I took all your features. 100% true. It was a good point on the daughter. But that bald anger that you had. Yeah. And you're gonna see more and more of this in project in the side chat, not side chat. I'm sorry, in the straight no chasers. So seriously, that's what you're gonna be seeing in that regard. It's messed up. It's literally messed up. I'm gonna go. Give me a second here. Let me see what we got in. Let's see what we got in the chat here. Oh wow, that's a lot of people. 22,678. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let me go through some of this before we call it a night. Sophia Douglas from New York. Oh, thank you, Miss Sophia. I think the state should prove paternity test before they put these men in jail. Exactly what I said. I'm with you in that. Lashley Woods from UK, from London. Throwing dads in jail for child support makes no sense to me. They can't pay it in prison, and when they get out, they still can't pay it because they're tied up. That is paid, and it points start to pile up onto them. Shaking my head. It's a game they can't win. Miss Woods, you're 100% correct. Give me a second here. 100% correct there, Miss Woods. John Cleese also from England. Top of the morning to y'all. Good morning. I'm happy that you are pointing out this in some of these shows because a lot of people don't understand that not all fathers are deadbeats. They try to be in their children's lives, but they never get a chance because some women hold a vindictive point on it. You are proving the point of, yes, men could be jerks, men could be horrible people, but women hold vindictive attitude and just cannot let things go. They got to punish beyond not only the father, but their children. I'm thankful that you are speaking out on this. Thank you, sir. Thank you. I'm happy to do that. Alain Florence, sorry, Portugal. Shouldn't the mother put in jail for fraud? She intentionally lied to her husband, and he is the father of her daughter. Like, yes, there's a thing called paternity fraud. And again, in some cases, some of these people go in front of the court and cause perjury, which they should be in jail because of perjury. They still don't go to jail. Women don't go to jail as much as men, and they get way less what do you call it? Way less sentences than men. Cross Raven from California. Okay, the mother should be held accountable. You're correct, but that's not gonna. Let's see. Emilia Vivive from St. Thomas Virgin Islands. Shout out, sis. That's my second home. So she lied and made him think that he's the father, so he's responsible for paying just because he signed the birth certificate. The U.S. court system is the worst. They really need to make changes. Yes, and trust me, the child support companies have pretty strong lobbyists, and Congress ain't gonna pass none of this crap. But we do need to find ways to do it. We gotta go like steps by step, so Congress don't get involved, so that they don't have to put the money towards this. That's what they need to do. Christy Lee from Germany. If a man goes to jail for child support, for child that is not his, he should be compensated for that. Shaking my head. Again, correct. That's not how it works out, though. Fame Well from Egypt. I hate it that a man could be locked up for unpaid child support for a child that's not even his. Again, correct. Denise Desalis, Germany. How can a guy pay his bill when he's incarcerated? No, that's why I wanted to let the judge talk about it. It's a vicious cycle. It's going around and around and around. It makes no sense. You would never win that system unless you win a lot and make a lot of money. You would never win that system. That's just how it's set up. That's why I try to tell young men, seriously, wrap it up, wrap it up, wrap it up. Rebecca Swilling, this man should be compensated for all these years in jail. And I'm happy that you're talking about this because I have let my son listen to your show so he could get a different perspective. this needs to be talked about because many young men doesn't have father. My child doesn't have his father, but I made sure to have a male figure in his life so he could understand what the world is about. Miss Swellen, it didn't happen. And again, I don't know your circumstances. I don't know. There are fathers there are guys who just don't take responsibility. I know that. I'm not even knocking that that don't happen. Okay, I get it. But a lot of people, the media and everything like put that your father one day deadbeat. Like I said, I always talk about the money. Money this. That's why when I see these child support spots for $200,000, $300,000 for what? What child needs that money? No, they don't. On average, from till birth to 80, the child is $250,000. So you tell me this woman, Brittany Gaynor, who get $200,000 a month. She basically got everything for the child, but they don't care. She get paid. She know how the system is. She don't care. They don't care. They don't care. The system is corrupted in that regard. They don't care. Flipping crazy. That's why I tell young men, yes, sex is this, but don't throw your life away because of a little bit of that, man. Don't. It's not needed. I don't know if I wonder if you're gonna show up on my. I'll see if you're gonna show up. I have a picture here. I don't know if you're gonna show up on my phone through the camera. Let me see here. Nope, that's not it. No, it's an image. Let me see. I doubt it's gonna show up on a camera, but let me show it anyway and see if it comes up. Okay, because of the reflection. You should be able to see that. On this right here is a guy, and right here on this side is a house, money, car, and what it says is, you better stop playing around and jump over that damn gap, which is coochies, as you saw there. Coochies. That's the problem. Just having sex and getting a woman pregnant that you didn't intentionally do that to or whatever. And again, guys, that's your fault. That is literally your fault for going ahead with this. Now, if a woman lied to you like that woman just did, that's a different story. But he went and got married. He took accountability and all that stuff. But jump over that gap. Just that monetary little thing can change your life. Now, that situation happened to me when I was young, and it changed my life, that a woman tried to put a child on me. So that's why I said, whoa. That wasn't my child. I wrapped it up. I made sure how the kind of work this, come to find out. And I took a test. I didn't sign no papers. It wasn't my child. She cheated on me. Oh, shocking surprise. Heck, I just found out about a woman I thought I was going to marry and all that stuff. Come to find out, she tried to play that game as well, too. Just found out. I was like, wait a minute. Let me see. You were having sex with me, telling me all this stuff while you're having sex with another man, and then you had while you already was having unprotected sex with that dude, and you know how I am. Wow. You. I jumped over that gap. It ain't worth it. It ain't worth. And that person was. And I'm talking about that was a relationship. That was an 8-year relationship. So that wasn't like I was messing around with a woman or nothing. That was an 8-year relationship. The woman I'm talking about, 8-year relationship that I was in, and it didn't work out. Long story short, but yes, wrap it up. Until I'm married and me and my wife have a conversation that we're gonna have kids and all that stuff. Wrap it up. That conversation with the kids needs to be happening. I'm telling you guys, man, it's just ridiculous. Okay, it's ridiculous. Let me go to a little bit more. And I like that the ladies this is more ladies showing up talking about this stuff. So this is not guys. These are women are getting me. Patty Nielsen from Germany. That poor guy was going to jail for years, and the kid ain't even his. It seems criminal itself. Brittany Hoffman from UK. The way the dad kisses her daughter forehead lets her know that he's there and he will continue to love her. Which, yeah, I think to go forward, and she should drop all that. She needs to go to therapy. She and her sister need to go to therapy. Figure out. I hope that the mom doesn't aggravate this any more than it needs to be, really. But on a serious note, You gotta drop that hate from for your father. He tried his best. He said again, he did say that 10 years he wishing he didn't, but I'm telling you, it could have gone a more messed up route. If seeing how that woman's that his wife was that vindictive, it could have even go more messed up route. So I'm sorry. It's a shame that she spent the years she spent in jail. We need to do better. You're correct about that. Susan. Okay, again, this is from Japan. Thank you. This is daytime over there for you guys. Susan Mitang. Look, I apologize. I can't pronounce all your names. The stepmom is absolutely amazing. Such a refreshing thing to see. Warren Price from New York. The mother knew all along he wasn't the father. Yeah, he did. Heather Lorraine from Washington, D.C. I am crushed for this family, especially for the father. Susan Evans, also from Washington, D.C. Okay. The system is horrible and does not make any sense when it comes to locking up people for child support. If they're in jail, they still can't be supported anyway. So who comes up with this dumb rule anyway? Like, that's what I'm saying. Rose Green from UK. This man served prison time and paid child support for a child that's not his. Oh my God. Sid, okay, yeah. Sid Mod. And I got accent over it, so I hope it's Mod, but it is just saying in that regard. Hold the phone. He's not the father. He didn't, and they didn't test him. His life was destroyed, but he is still guilty of banning his child because he signed it. This is what you call justice? Hey, yes, it's messed up. Anthony Vassain from Germany. Is it me, or do other people feel like Jenny, someone on child support, is basically seems to dealt for any purpose? Shouldn't they made work to pay so they could pay it back? There's no need to be some law. Okay, sorry, I read that wrong. Apologize, that's on me. There needs to be some law, something that if a guy was led to believe that he was a father and he isn't, it should, well, it's paternity fraud, but they don't push it. That's the problem. He should be let off the hook and the money should be paid back, or if some volunteer signed the birth certificate, it needs to be stated as a volunteer. I agree with that. Also, I believe in a paternity test should be mandated at all newborns. Oh, trust me, I got a video about that, my brother. Ooh, that's why I call this Project Over Mike Special Edition, Episode 2. Because I did one about the elections, how Time Magazine showed how the media set up everything to the elections be what's supposed to be, blah, blah, blah. I'll leave it alone. I accept the results, YouTube. Jeez. It should be. Mandatory to be on the first month or done the first day. It should be. Jane Gulas, also from Germany. He's a good man. I'm just angry that this man gets beat up in the court system. Exactly. Chris James from Florida. This is a great travesty of justice. The money should be returned, plus he should be compensated. The mother should be locked up for falsely claiming child support payments. Oh, of course. Of course, but we know how that works. You know how that works. Jabordine Salim from Egypt. The guy spent years in jail, and their mom told him he leave, and yet they blame him. This does not seem legit. I got you on that. Charles Booth, from New Jersey. This happened all the time. He goes to jail and the woman walks away. Philan Williams from Germany. I cried over this one. He needed to have stayed. He needed to have stayed and raised his daughters. I would if I could sue the mother for paternity fraud, which he could, but again, it's how to push the system. The system's messed up. And again, he needed to have stayed and raised the daughters. Yes, but like I said it before, if this woman's this vindictive and trying to cover this, she could have said and lied to them that he left, and he said, "Hey, your mom told me to get up, I must get out of here," and didn't know that. You don't think she would have said, "Oh, you abused my daughters, you abused me, you hit me, and all that stuff," and make up some cockamamie lie? That has happened many times. For people don't know about that. One of the other Straight No Chasers videos, which is way shorter than this, you'll see what the mother did. The mother literally committed paternity fraud, changing the names. She messed with documents. That itself is regular fraud. Did she go to jail? No. After she lied, and then it came out that he wasn't the father. What did she do? She said, "Yeah, I know who the father is." She was a vindictive chick. I'm telling you, that's not how it works out. I'm telling you that. Monoka Lelaire from Hawaii. Oh, excuse me. Thank you for listening to the show. When I see these things, I imagine a number of men who raise and support financially without knowing it. Children who are not their biological father. That's why I said the number I just told you, that's for those who do take the test. Out of the people who do take the test, 75% of those women who do take the test, the person they thought that was the father, 75% of the time, it's 74. Sorry, 74% of the time, it's not their child. It was not the guy's child. So you mean you sleeping with other men? Sometimes they know, sometimes they didn't know, because sometimes some women was being whores. Then go to the Breakfast Club. I wish I could play this clip. I ain't gonna find it right now. Go to the Breakfast Club. There's this. Everybody knows Maury and whatever how Maurice is. There's a clip that Maury said. This is how crazy. The mother and her father had twins. They had twins. Maury went to take the other test. Come to find out, one of the twins, they're twins now. One of the twins is biologically not his. And everybody was on that show was like shocked, crazy, what's going on. What happened was the mother had sex with the father, right? The mother had sex the mother had sex with two different men within a 24-hour period. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I'm telling you that. Rabibi Romance from Egypt. Paternity test must be done before the system jails. I think you're correct about that, Tig. To find out if that's truly the father for the child support. Numerous cases where the woman are not sure and who the children not sure who the father is. I think sometimes the men who sign the birth certificates are not fully aware of the legal binding and signing of this certificate, and it makes a man, whether the biological father or not, legally father of a child that's not his, even though it could be that the mother cheated in the time of that situation. I'm happy that you bringing some of this stuff up. Good for you for bringing these topics to the show, my brother. Again, check out Straight Notations. That's not topical about politics, whatever. You'll see you're gonna see way more crazy stuff that I'm bringing up. Again, guys, wrap it up. Please know how to use a condom. Do not do this, because again, if you went in there like that first girl I played at the beginning of this whole video, and you went in there and you busting her like she said, you stupid. That's your fault. And you will get out of the way. PJ Washington, he's an idiot. He's a straight up idiot. Brittany Renner told him what she is, and he still went and tried to do that because you want to have the baddest chick. You think you're gonna change her? You was a moron, dude. You was an idiot. Barbara Ransom. I wish that these lying, promiscuous egg carriers. Thank you, because I've been saying that too. That was like sperm donors. We got egg carriers as well too. Would face jail and be forced to repay the men that they target for child support. I am very proud to see a lot of people in the chat, mostly women, are standing up for this because we need to hold other women accountable. Thank you, Barbara Ramson from UK. Sorry, and she's a black woman too. Because sometimes you can see that some people put the avatars because you gotta put your real name in the temple stuff, but you can't. You still put wacky avatars. So yeah. Dean Balit from New York. I really don't understand the law of the U.S. When a boy is only 18 or 19, he knows nothing about the law. he does not even know if the baby is his or not. But once he signed the birth certificate, he is eligible for the child support regardless when he cannot pay it. They put him in jail for years. Seriously, the law is just unreasonable and tough. You're correct, sir. That's what it is. And there's a couple people, of course, say thank you for bringing the show. Thank you for talking about the issue. There's lots of stuff. I wish I could get you all this stuff. It keeps on going, but my voice is hurting right now, and I'm telling you guys, yes, I gotta bring this down a little bit. So again, yes, so we got up to 23,000 now. So yes, thank you guys for that. Again, for me, people out there, guys, on a note, share the content. Help us on YouTube. Go to the YouTube Project Open Mic on YouTube/YouTube. You see it on right there underneath there. You see that? Go there. You don't have to subscribe, but it'll be appreciated if you do. But share the video, share the news. Tell these young men. I like what the lady just said, that to share my contact with her so she could figure out stuff like that. It is not good. Definitely not good. All right? Be careful, guys. On a serious note, be careful. Wrap it up. It takes two to be accountable. But again, if you get put into a sense that you're falsely accused like this, and he didn't know, he thought it was his, and he married everything. He did everything right, and his life still got messed up. That's the whole point, literally. So, again, I'm basically gonna be back on my grind a little bit. There gonna be still some weird days between there. Don't get me wrong, but Tuesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern Central Time. There's a video that always goes up, Straight No Chasers. You can go to the Project Open Mic on YouTube again and check the playlist. There's a lot of playlists out there from Project Open Mic, Side Chat, all kind of stuff. Go and check that out. But 8 o'clock is that. Again, 9 to 9:15 is start, because sometimes the computer give me problems and I gotta figure out certain stuff, sometimes in the app itself. But Thursday nights, get Project Over Mic. Again, topical show. We talk about stuff that's topical, sometimes politics, but again, I don't really care too much about the politics. I point out again, culture is downstream from politics. They change stuff. These are laws that change stuff. That change people to think, yo, you could be a boy could be a girl could be this. Look what happened to the MMA fighters. This guy got in there and said, oh, he's a punk. The second man who became a male fighting in the women's division, you're a punk choking out a woman. I don't care. You could beat me up. I don't care, but you're a punk. I don't look at you as anything. You're a coward and a punk. Okay? Despicable person. But that's how they change the laws again. That's why I said the politics is what it is, but I gotta talk about that. But again, of course, hopefully the side chat, when I get people to come in, hopefully I get the guys then back for next week for the side chat, okay? So remember, Tuesdays, Straight No Chasers video. Thursday, Project Open Mic. Friday, side chat, all right? Hope you guys are doing well. Hope you guys have a good night, a good morning to y'all who are listening over in the UK, including that one I got in Japan. I mean, like I said, it's basically night. It's going to be nighttime back to you because of what you is. Thank you for giving me your time. Your eyes, for those who see visually, your time, your eyes, your ears for, of course, listening to what I gotta say. Thank you all for that. All right. Remember, evil is evil. Evil is evil. No matter what race, evil is no matter race, color, creed, sex, gender, height, politics, weight. It made no difference. Evil is evil. Again, men are assholes. I'm not gonna deny them. Men are jerks, but women are vindictive. Be careful of what you guys doing. Sometimes, as you can see, I like how a lot of the women showed up in the comment in the chat, and they talk about this. Like, women stand up, call a whole lot of women accountable. Good on you women for doing that. Black, white, Hispanic, and Latina women, all that is in the comments saying that. So thank y'all for listening to the show. So again, yes. So guys, also remember, and this applies to men and women. People are stupid, all right? Individuals are smart. Be that smart individual. Critical think. Ask questions. Put all that together, okay? Please. With that said, I wish you all a good night, a blessed weekend. You take care of yourself. See you the next time, the next episode. This is your boy, Take for Project Open Mic. All right?